Okay. Look, I believe people can and really should grow as individuals, but the primary issue that I think most people have with relationships is that individuals are lying to themselves and then consequently to the other person. So it's not so much that women lie to me, they lie to themselves and consequently they end up lying to me. Most women aren't there manipulating a plan. I want to screw this guy over and waste my own time. Most of the time they're lying about who they are. They don't want to look in the mirror. They're lying about what they want, what they can live with. They might think they can tolerate something from a guy, but deep down they don't want that. They want something else and they hope the guy will eventually come around, where the reality is he probably won't, especially if they're core values. So I think that's really at the heart of things. I was having a conversation along these similar lines with my sister and my brother-in-law last night, and my sister said it well. She said, the problem isn't that we were so great and we gave in relationships and look at what I did and I was so wonderful and they never appreciated me. No, that's not the real issue. You're not addressing you. You didn't respect yourself. Why did you stay that long? Who are you? Have you taken a look in the mirror? I mean, if you continually give someone $100 week in, week out, and then at the end, all you've got to show for it is telling other people, oh, look how great I was. I kept giving $100 to this person and they kept taking it. Well, sure. What do you expect? Look, I've made plenty of those mistakes myself in relationships, stayed longer than I should have, kept continually giving, thinking that if I just give again, maybe they'll calm down. Maybe they'll see my point of view. I'll wear them down with kindness. But my overly nice in the past, accepting, accommodating, making up an excuse from, oh, well, they went through this and, I really can't be too hard, and creatively coming up with an excuse and putting up with things over the long term. Whereas if I was my friend telling me about my gripes in this situation and my frustrations, I would tell myself to speak up and or leave. But you don't, and neither did I in my past. My problem has always been, and some women have even said, I'm refreshingly open. There's been few women that don't like that, and that's fair enough. But I think me trying to be as open and authentic as I can and show a woman everything I am, my concerns, my fears, if she thinks I'm overly neurotic, rather than what I'm trying to project is just me being open and laying bare on the table, these are the important things to me. I don't want children. This is how I live. I'm a simple person. I'm not gregarious. I'm not a jet setter. I don't want to live this lifestyle. This is my lifestyle. And I'll continually keep drilling into the person. In terms of values in life, this is me, this is me. And that doesn't change because I value those things. I know when I get up in the morning what my routines are, who I am, the friends and family I value, the routines, the creative pursuits I value. They're not going to change. They've been with me all my life. I'm not going to suddenly wake up one day and want to be a banker or into finance. I'm a creative person. Similarly, how you are in relationships, how you like to interact with another person, the routines, how you love, how you don't love, what love and virtue is to you. These things are important. These, to me, are really, really important and interesting things to talk about with a person, especially when you're getting to know them. Not staying quiet and molding yourself to what they want, because later on you feel like then I can let myself go and show who I am, and I hope they accept it. And I was talking to another female the other day, and I was airing these frustrations. It's like, why do people hide who they are? And I know there's fear, but especially by middle age, just show who you are. There's nothing wrong with just saying, this is me. I like this. I don't like this. And I know people don't want to be alone and they don't want a potential person who they find physically attractive or their character's nice. They don't want them to leave. But really, do you want to be stuck with someone who's distant that you can't connect with because you're not similar in any ways that are important in terms of your values? And she said something that I've heard many women say, and it plays into, the stupid dictum of it's a woman's prerogative to change her mind, which I think is really stupid, especially when you want to build a long-term future with somebody. And she said, well, people change. And I kind of rolled my eyes. I said, not about the important things, not the foundational things you fall for in the person that make you somewhat sure this is a person I want to commit to. I want to start going down a direction that is monogamous with this person. I want this person for the long term, to the exclusion of all other women or all other men. At least by middle age, you should know what you want, what you don't, who you are, what your routines are, what kind of makes you up as a person. If you're still like in the vague soup of a teenager or a 20-something-year-old, geez, man, like when are you going to be self-interested enough to kind of find out what you do and don't want? You know, who's a real friend for you? What friends match with you? What lovers match with you? But she kept repeating, yeah, but people change. And I could kind of see the unreflective laziness in this person. That's just the way they were. They don't care enough to be philosophically interested in their own values and virtues and things like that. And I kept repeating, well, no, you can't just change a primary part of who you are, what the person really fell for, to the exclusion of other women. You can't change that and expect the person just to love the same thing, because you're not the same thing anymore. If you want a guy just to love your physical appearance, fine. But what's the difference between me picking any other woman apart from you? Why should I commit to you and a future with you to the exclusion of every other woman if there's not some values, morals, virtue-based in you that's not in anyone else that I really value in you? If you change those big foundations about what you stand for, how can you expect me to keep loving you? If you're going to be like any other woman, if you're just a blank slate, if all you are is your looks, I'll just pick any woman. And I just kept repeating. I said, like, you can't change a major part of your values and expect the person to just kind of follow you along like a pet on a leash. And she said, well, if you love the person, you should change with them. And this is me again, trying to use an analogy because she's not getting what I'm trying to say to her. I said, what if you meet a guy and you really like him, and part of one of the major foundational things that solidifies you wanting to commit to this guy to the exclusion of all other guys and set your course in life with him is that he wants family and children and everything is on the same page with you, right? And yet time's very important, much more to women than it is for men. So it's much more important that he sticks to that. He doesn't change his values. But then one day after you're in love and you've spent time with each other and families have met and years have passed, he goes, yeah, you know what? I don't want family anymore. I don't want to get married. Would you just follow him? Again, it's stupid because I have to paint an analogy from a woman's point of view, things she values, to illustrate the principle of the thing. You know, the thing of the person, yeah, their character, they're nice people and all that. But one of the practical fundamental characteristics of what routines and what kind of life am I going to live with this person, if that changes, if they change who they are, then how can you keep loving them? And she kind of laughed and says, oh, well, that's different. I said, no, it's not. Structurally and on principle, it's the same thing. I don't think she kind of got it because she thought that you should be able to change. And if you love the person, doesn't matter how the person changes. If you love them, you should just follow and adapt to that. But basically, if it's just the physical and you can fill the contents with anything you want, then it doesn't matter. I shouldn't have to commit to you. I'll just keep flipping women and changing women if all you are is your outer shell. If you don't have the contents, some really special contents, which I really gel with, that are part of me too, that we match with, then why the heck should I commit to you? What am I loving? There's an analogy that women and men often use to kind of describe men's base nature. We're like dogs, but like dogs as well, we love routine. That's what we fall in love with. That's what we count on every day when we're waking up. Why we struggle at work, why we grind through the day to come back home to a family that was there the day before, a woman that's the same as the day before. You can sprinkle different things in that routine, like different types of food, going to slightly different places, but where you go and what you do and the style of everything you do, the fashion of your life doesn't change. If the overall fashion, the overall character changes from day to day, you don't know what those musical chairs are going to be like. There's an insecurity in not knowing what you're working for, what you're living for, what you're committed to. Know thyself, gentlemen and females. Stefan Molyneux said it best, I think. He said, love is the involuntary response to virtue. And I think this is really correct. You can't love someone if they keep changing their core values and virtues. What do you love? You just love the external appearance of somebody. If that's the case, just keep having casual relationships, have the variety without having to worry about the internal contents of valuing someone and keeping that person and then keeping you and relying on the security of that consistency. You don't change who you are really. It doesn't matter if she gains a few kilos or loses a few kilos. It doesn't matter if the guy loses his job or gets more money or less money. If the person and their values, if the person doesn't change, I contend that should be the most important person. Yeah, I'm being idealistic, but if I'm going to commit to something, if I think those basic low-level foundations of what makes a good friendship, any kind of relationship, any kind of long-term lover that I can count on, and I invest in over the long term, if they don't hold those values that are special, that other people don't have, then why should I value them if they're the same as everyone else, if they can change like everyone else, if they can change tomorrow? Why? The answer is, like rationally, you shouldn't. You shouldn't love them. What are you loving? And deep down, women understand this. They wouldn't commit to a man and have kids with him if he'd leave tomorrow, if they weren't sure that he liked some sort of security and routine. But they want to give themselves the option of changing their minds all the time, which I think is ridiculous. It goes against even their security. Let me know your thoughts on this topic. I've talked about it a little bit, but especially in this point where a lot of women I've heard say, well, people change. Not your core values and virtues, because otherwise you don't really love anything. You just love the external shell that's continually being filled up with a different personality, a different character, different values. For people that like the transient kind of relationships where they like surprises, different holidays all the time, and a lot of variety, yeah, you can be with different people and have a lot of variety, but especially when you want a lot more security, where a lot of long-term stability and meaning is important to you, that stuff doesn't matter. It really matters what the core values and virtues of a person are and that they stay rock solid. And you can change the window dressing, but the foundations don't change. They're my thoughts anyway. Let me know your thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Hit the drop down and select all when you do hit the bell. Otherwise, YouTube won't notify you of my videos. Share my videos on your social media feed. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't. Leave your comments on this subject below. I'd really be interested to see what you guys think. And we'll discuss some of this on my next live stream, which I'll be doing tomorrow, I think. I'll leave details. And if you feel like donating, there are links below. I appreciate all you guys who have donated this month. Thanks a lot. It helps keep the channel going. I'll talk to you very soon, guys. Bye.